Hello there, and welcome to the very first edition of Let's Sit and Talk. I've done quite a few videos on Let's Walk and Talk where we walk, and as we're walking, I'm talking and we're discussing interesting topics. So I just wanted to shake things up a bit on my YouTube channel. So I thought this one will be a Let's Sit and Talk. So I hope you'll find this to be helpful. The topic today is how to make your money go further, because especially in this day and age where everything costs a fortune, it's always good to have hints and tips and just to know how to make your money go that little bit further. So that's what this video is all about. Let's jump straight to it. I've faced my fair share of struggles throughout my life, and along the way I've learned how to make every single penny count. It's taken a lot of time, a lot of practice, and years and years and years of getting things wrong, completely wrong, even recently. But along the way I've learned from those mistakes, and I want to teach with you what I've learned and what I've put into practice now, which has really helped me with my finances, and I hope that these little hints and tips will help you too. I've broken down all the hints and tips into little categories, and this first category is travel smarter. And the first tip is buy weekly or monthly bus passes. Investing in a monthly bus pass can actually save you in the long run. I know it's a big chunk of money that you're paying out right off the beginning of the month, but in the long run it will save you, especially if you're commuting regularly. Then these passes are a great way to cut costs. My next travel tip is to use a travel card. Check if you're eligible for a travel card, because this could really save you some significant savings. If you're not sure how to go by getting a travel card, then you can ask at your local job centre for advice on how to apply, and they're quite good down there. They should help you to be able to get one if you're eligible. And next tip is walk when you can. It's not only free, but it's also great for your health. It's a great way to get healthy, to get fit. You can see everything that's around you. You can get to explore your local area. You save on transport costs, and it's brilliant. And if you like tracking your daily steps like I do, I always track my daily steps, then it'll really help to boost how many daily steps you do. My next tip is to save the car for essential trips. So whenever possible, avoid using your car or taxis. Public transport or even walking is much cheaper than taxis and obviously petrol with your car. You'll be amazed at how much you can save by just switching up your transport habits. So maybe only use your car if you really have to. Another tip is single bus tickets versus day passes. If you're only taking the bus once or twice a day, then consider buying maybe a single ticket instead of a day pass. It's a small change, but it can actually save you in the long run. It can really add up, especially if you know you're only going to be going out for one trip. Then rather get a single ticket, it'll be a lot cheaper. The next category of discussion is work and finances tips to stay on top. So the first tip here on how to save is keep up with loan payments. Try your best to stay on top of your loan payments and your debt payments, because late fees can really take a toll on your bank balance and your credit score as well. And it actually you end up paying so much more in the long run. I've learned the hard way, believe me. I've really learned the hard way. So really try to, if you've got a loan, if you've got debts and repayments, keep on top of those payments and stay consistent with it. It will pay off in the long run. Another tip is to look for cash in hand jobs. Cash in hand jobs can be a great way to earn that extra money without having to worry about taxes or anything like that. If you have a main job, then just consider maybe doing that extra part-time cash in hand job just to boost your income. I remember about a couple years ago, in about 2022, around there, I was working 2 different jobs at once. I had my main job, which I was working at a care home as a chef, and then I had a part-time job which I did after my hours at the care home. I would go and work at a vegan restaurant as a chef, and that really helped. It really does help, just having that part-time job, that little bit extra cash. It all adds up, it all helps, and it makes a difference. Another tip is to plan what you take out with you each day. Plan how much money you're going to be using that day. And so when you leave the house, you only take the amount of money that you're going to need for that day. A good tip is to draw out cash and have that cash on you. And so you can even leave your bank card at home so you don't be tempted to make impulse buys and purchases. In this way, you only have the money on you to get what it is that you need. So you can even plan, what am I going to need today? I'm going to need milk, I'm going to need bread, I'm going to need coffee, tea, blah, 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 blah. And then you say, well, that's probably going to be about, I'm going to probably need about £20, maybe £30. So you've got that cash on you, you take it out with you, you leave your bank card at home, and maybe just take a little bit extra so you know you've got in case of emergencies. And in this way, it'll stop you making those impulse buys. Another tip is to start a savings habit, even if it's just £5 a month. Put something away regularly, and it will definitely add up over time. I personally use this particular app called Plum. It's a Plum app, and it really helps to make savings so much easier. I love my Plum app. I use it every month. You can set it up to transfer a fixed amount each month when you get paid. It'll just take a set amount, whichever amount you set it to, and it'll transfer to your Plum account, and it'll keep it safe there. And eventually you'll just forget about it. You get on with your life, you get on with your month, and those £5, they add up each month. You'll go back in your account one day and you'll think, wow, I've saved quite a bit of money. So that really does help. It's almost like my emergency account. Some of the great features of Plum, which I highly recommend Plum, you'll love it. It has some great features, and one of the features it has is called the 1p challenge. And this is where you save an extra penny every day. Every day, it'll take 1p from your bank account and it'll put it into your Plum account. And after a year, you'll save over £600 without even noticing it, because it's only 1 pence that's going out of your account each day, or 1 cent, 1 pence. You won't even notice it. Another great feature it has is the naughty rule. So you can set this, you can say, right, if I'm naughty, if I indulge in a little shopping spree, then I'm going to get a fine. Plum will fine you, but don't worry, it's your money, you'll get that money back, it's not stealing your money. And this is what you set it for yourself. You can even say how much you want to be fined. And so, for example, like I say, if I get a takeaway, and Plum will recognize that I've got a takeaway, I've used the Just Eat app, then it'll automatically take £3, that's my fine, and it'll transfer it from my bank account into my Plum account. And that's my fine. And that's all part of saving, because anytime you want to draw that money out, you just go into your Plum account and transfer it back to your bank account. It's your money. It's just like little rules to help you save. Other cool features that Plum has is it has weekly deposits if you want to deposit weekly. You can have a rainy day savings account, separate saving pockets. It's a real game changer when it comes to saving. So Plum, definitely look it up. It's a great app and it's really helpful. Another tip is to put 100% into your job search. So whether you're job hunting or pursuing a side hustle, always give it your best shot. Opportunities really fall into our laps. So any efforts that you put in and any work that you put into finding work really does make a huge difference. Another tip is to track your spending. Pay attention to your spending habits. maybe even over the next month or next 2 months. Really take note of your spending habits. Write down and log each time you spend, where you've spent on junk food or luxuries or bits and bobs that you didn't really need. Start looking at where you're overspending. What are your natural spending habits? What are you doing at the moment? And then try and see what new spending habits you can make. And the best way to do that is to track your spending, to log it down, especially over a 2 to 3 month period, because then you get a really good idea of where you could be overspending, where you could be saving, where you could be buying things you don't really need. And it'll also help you to make smarter financial choices and work out what's more healthier, better spending habits to have. Another tip is to prepare for special occasions. So throughout the year, just start purchasing small gifts and cards and little things like that. You just need to buy maybe a little something here, a little something there. And by the time birthdays and Christmases and all that rolls around, you already have stuff. It won't be such a big expense. Because instead of paying out a huge chunk of money when it comes to birthdays and Christmas all at once, you already have most of the bits you need. So just throughout the months and throughout the year, just buy little bits and bobs and it will add up and it makes a difference. Another tip is to tackle debt smartly. So focus on paying off larger debts first, then work your way down to the smaller ones. You'll feel lighter as you knock them out one by one. It's always good to start off with those larger debts, especially the ones that have big interests, the ones where it costs a lot more in the long run. Next, master your money management. This is the next big topic. So start a money logbook. As I said before, it's good to start recording down how much you spend and to record down all your expenses, because this will give you a good idea of where you could be going wrong or where you could save. So record expenses every time money goes out of your account, even for the small tiny little stuff. It helps you stay aware and to keep track of where your money's going. A budgeting app can also help, and it can be super helpful, and you get plenty of them. If you're on Play Store, like I'm on Play Store, there's so many budgeting apps out there that could really help you to keep on top of your monies. Another tip is to expand your knowledge. You're never, never, never too old to learn something new. That's the beauty of life. We always can learn something new. Knowledge is wow. So you're never too old to learn something new. Learning new skills can open up doors to higher paying jobs or side hustles, free courses. I mean, there's so many free courses out there. Look online, they're available everywhere. Check out YouTube platforms or other platforms such as Allison courses for great resources. Read books, watch videos. Develop your skills, learn and grow, expand your knowledge, and who knows, you could use some of this knowledge to bring in some extra income. Another helpful tip is budget for essentials, but also overestimate when you do. So what I mean by that is when you're planning your budget, overestimate what you'll spend. If you typically spend about £60 on groceries, this is just an example, then budget 65 instead. This extra cushion can actually help cover any unexpected costs later on. So always overestimate whenever you're going to be paying for something. And it's always a nice surprise then when you think, oh, I didn't actually end up spending that, and I've got a bit of extra pennies in my pocket. I'll now share with you some creative ways to cut costs. So the first creative way is to declutter and sell. So turn your unused items into cash, whether it's through online marketplace like eBay, Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, or in person at a car boot sale. You can make money while clearing out your space. So just do a big declutter, Look for all those things that have just been laying in the closet or laying in the back room for months and never been used, and then sell them and get some money coming back. And so many times we have so many bits and bobs. I mean, we've got so many stuff. I know I do. I've had times when I thought, why do I even keep that? I keep it like old socks. No, not literally old socks, but you know what I mean. You keep bits and bobs in case of emergencies, in case. And then it just lays there. It's never been used. So why not sell it and put it to good use and get some money back for it? You never know. You could end up making quite a bit of cash doing that. There's been loads of times when I've been really desperate for money, when I've been going through a tough time in my life and I've needed the extra cash, and I've ended up selling old stuff, doing just this, doing a massive declutter, selling old stuff, and I've made nearly £200, and it's helped me to get by, or it's helped me get out of sticky situations. So it does help. I'll now share with you some extra helpful apps that can really help you to save. So do some of your own research. Look out there. There's so many money saving apps out there. It's just incredible. You just got to look for them, research. I'm going to share with you some of my favorite ones. One of my most favorite ones, which I use quite often, is called Jam Donut. And Jam Donut is this app where you open your app, you go inside, and you look for the supermarket where you'll be shopping at. It's got supermarkets, it's got garages if you're getting petrol, it's got days out, so different places you go on days out. It's got everything on there. So for example, say you want to go to Morrison's, so you just go into your Morrison's and you can add you can buy a voucher. These are like shopping vouchers, and you can buy a voucher for example, £50. You say, well, I'm putting £50 in there. This week I'm doing a big shop at Morrison's and I'm going to be spending at least £50. Then what you do is you'll get a voucher. You go in your store, you put your shopping in your trolley, you go to the cash point, and you show the till person, the cashier, you show them the voucher that will be on your Jam Donut app, and they'll just scan it. It's got a scanner. They'll scan it, and voila, your shopping's paid for. The beauty is for every time you shop using a voucher through Jam Donut, you will get money back. And eventually that money back saves. So each time you use your Jam Donut app, you get money back from every shop. And then when you get to about £10 or more, I think it's about £10 or more, then you can just draw it out and have that money transferred back to your account. So you're saving. You're basically getting money back for every purchase that you use with that Jam Donut account. So it's absolutely brilliant. Another good one is Too Good To Go. This is where shops may have food where they've got too many food or things that are going to go out of date. So you go to the Too Good To Go app, and you just say, yes, I would like to pay maybe £3 or whatever it is towards getting food. And you go to the shop and they'll just give you bags and bags full of food, whatever's there that's left over. So that's another good one. Another one is Quidco. And there's Top Cashback. That's another great app. So these are all apps that can really help you save in the long run, especially with food shoppings, days out, holidays, travel, money off. It's definitely worth looking. There's so many. I've just given you a few here. Jam Donut, Too Good To Go, Quidco, Top Cashback. These are just a few. There's so many out there. Another tip is to create a monthly budget plan. Every month is different. It really is. So create a budget plan for each month. You don't want to just have one budget plan and that's the one you stick with all year round. No. That's a big no. I've learned that way. Definitely don't do that. Because each month is different. You may have one month where you may need extra medication, for example, or another month where maybe your microwave breaks, so you're going to have to end up spending money that you didn't expect to spend, or the car might break. It could be a birthday, it could be birthdays or Christmases, so you'll have to spend more. Each month is different, so create a budget plan for each separate month, and do it as you get to the start of each month. So a month comes, you think, right, it's the beginning of this month, I'm going to create a brand new budget plan, and work out how much you think you'll be spending for that particular month. This keeps you ahead of the game and ensures you're prepared for any unexpected expenses that may come along. Another tip is to limit your spending. If possible, set up a spending limit on your bank account to prevent you from overspending. You could also designate a no spend day each week. Just one day a week. Maybe say, well, every Wednesday, this is my no spend day. I'm not going to spend a penny. So make sure you've got your milk, your bread, whatever it is you're going to need the day before, because come every Wednesday, that's your no spend day. And you actually save. It'll be amazing how much you save in the long run. Another tip is to set financial goals, set realistic, achievable goals for your finances. Whether it's saving for an emergency fund or paying off credit cards, having goals in mind can really motivate you to stick to a budget. If you're a smoker, consider looking for cheaper brands or alternative options to make your habit more affordable. You could also stretch your tobacco. I used to smoke. I quit smoking in October, the 5th of October this year will be 2 years that I've not had a cigarette, but I vape. I do use my vape. But when I did used to smoke, these little hints and tips used to really, really help me a lot. So for roll-ups, try mixing half regular tobacco with half cheaper tobacco, and you'll be amazed at how much it actually makes it go further. It really does. You'll get more out of each pack, and you'll save money in the long run. So you just buy some tailor-made cigarettes, and you open them up, and you take the tobacco out of them, and you take some normal roll-in tobacco, and you mix a little bit together, and then you roll it up, and you'll end up making it go further. Be sensible and smart when you're spending. Just take a moment each month, take a moment to make a list of all your monthly expenses. And it's always important to be honest with yourself about where your money is going, what you really need to buy, and start identifying areas where you can make smart adjustments. Where you can make some cutbacks. Are there subscriptions that you subscribed to that you don't really need? Ask yourself questions like, what can I cut down or eliminate, or to save more money? What do I really need? What don't I really need? And just sit down and go through your finances, go through your bank account, go through the last 3-4 months bank statements, monitor your spending. Doing all these little things and just being more mindful of your spending can really help you save money. Another tip is to look for discounts and sales. So whenever you can, try to purchase items that are on sale or reduced. There's always a deals area. I know Morrison's has a great deals area. And even Aldi has a good deals area where you go, and it's like where things need to get used or bought quickly because they're near their sell-by date. You can get them for half price, much cheaper. So whenever you can, try to purchase items that are on sale or reduced. A lot of the times I'll go into like Morrison's or Aldi or one of the main shops, and I'll go to the reduced area and I'll find all the reduced meats, and you get quite a lot of good bits and bobs, and you can come home, pop them in your freezer, and they'll last months and months because they're in your freezer. So that's a really good tip. Also look for things such as buy one get one free and bulk offers. Another tip is to compare prices by doing a bit of research. I know it might be time consuming, but it's definitely worth it. Shop around, find lower prices for the same or even similar products. Even small price differences can add up to a significant saving. Aldi is absolutely fantastic. I love Aldi's because, and Lidl's and Aldi's and shops like that, Iceland, where you can really save pennies. You can really save a lot of money just from shopping around. And you may have different branded stuff, but it tastes exactly the same as the big brands. It's just a different packaging, different name, a different brand, but tastes the same. So shop around. Another tip is to buy smart and shop secondhand. So don't hesitate to buy from charity shops or to look on platforms such as Facebook Marketplace and FreeCycle, eBay. You can find some really great high quality items at some of these other shops instead of the big brand shops that cost a fortune. Use your Amazon Prime and other subscriptions wisely. That's another tip. Only have what you need. Review your bills is another tip. So take time to review your bills regularly. Just go over them, maybe do price comparisons, shop around, review sort of your TV, your phone, electricity, gas. See if you're getting the best option out there, or is there cheaper deals, cheaper plans. Websites like USwitch can really help you with comparing providers, and it'll help you to ensure that you're getting the most out of your money and you're getting the most affordable packages. Cut back on eating out. That's another tip. So try limiting how much you eat out and about. Try cooking at home instead. Try new recipes. There's so many great recipes out there, and home cooked food is much healthier, much tastier, and much cheaper than expensive takeaways. When you go out and about on the day, maybe make your own packed lunch. So when you go out, you're going out for a long day trip or you're going for a walk, take sandwiches with you, take a drink with you. In this way, it'll save you from buying when you're out. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm hungry, oh, I want a coffee, oh, I'm thirsty, you'll have a drink with you already. You'll have a flask of coffee that you pre-made or sandwiches in your little bag. Even carry a little backpack with you. It does save money. So prepare your own snacks. Limit pub visits. Going out to the pub can be fun. Yep, we all love going to the pub. But limit how much you do it, because it can add up very fast. Things like Wetherspoons, they do much cheaper beers, much cheaper food. So that's a good option. I call it the cheap pub. It's a great pub to go to because you get much cheaper food and much cheaper drinks than some of the other pubs. So just limit how much you go out and what you're spending. If you can, pay in cash. That's another tip. To stay in control of your spending, withdraw cash out for your shopping and nights out. And this simple practice can really help you to stick to a budget because it avoids impulse purchases. Another tip is to save all your loose change. At the end of each day, collect any loose change that you have in your purse, or at the end of each week. Any loose change you have laying around, just pop it into a jar or a savings pot and don't touch it. You'll be surprised at how quickly it adds up. It really does add up. And use what you have before you go and buy other stuff. So before going and thinking, right, I'm going to go do a shop, double check what you've got in your cupboards, double check what you've got in your freezer and your fridges. Use up what you've got already. And repurpose and recycle is another tip. So before discarding old clothes and bedding or towels, consider repurposing them. So you can make dishcloths out of old rags. You can make pillowcases. You can turn stuff that you've got into something else. Another tip is to make your meals last longer by stretching your food. You can add vegetables, beans or lentils to make meals like pasta and casseroles to go further. This not only makes meals healthier, but it also increases the quality and the quantity without increasing the cost. Another tip is to make your own homemade ready meals. I do this all the time. You just need some freezer bags and any food that you have that you have left over, excess food that you cook, you just pop them in the freezer bags and chuck them in the freezer, and voila, you have a meal on hand as and when needed. So I hope that you found these tips to be helpful. I have so many other helpful hints and tips I want to share with you, but I don't want to make the video too long. But I do hope you found it helpful. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you for watching, and thank you for listening. Happy savings.